Hello, everyone. This is the Insert Title Show, and I am your host, Wolf Strife. On this episode, I'm going to be talking about Ultimate General Gettysburg. This game came out in 2014. I was kind of late to the party. I didn't get the game until like 2016. But I really enjoyed this game when I got it. I mean, it's a good strategy game. It's not my favorite Civil War strategy game of all time, but it's a pretty damn good one. Not actually sure what my favorite strategy game for the Civil War would be. Maybe Sid Meier's or Sid Meier's Gettysburg. God, I've been playing that guy's games for like 20 years now. I ought to know how to say his name, but whatever. Sid Meier's or Sid Meier's, whatever. But yeah, his Gettysburg game is probably my favorite. And the old ass games, Civil War Generals 1 and 2 or whatever. Yeah, those were pretty fun back in the day. But yeah, this one's pretty fun. Basically, some of the reasons why I like this one is because I think they did a really good job making it historically accurate. Like, especially like the map is very, very well done. I'm not sure what the game company is who made this, but I'm pretty sure they are Ukrainian. So they did an amazing job, just like where everything is, and just yeah, they did a really amazing job here. Like all the topography, like see there's a ridge here, that's high ground, and just yeah, just everything they did I think is pretty good with the map. And yeah, and just all the trees and stuff. And yeah, the map. I mean, the map is just really amazing, just how accurate it is and massive. Yeah, that's one thing I definitely like about this game is how massive the battles are. Like, unfortunately, you can't fight the entire battle just in one go. It's basically cut up into, different parts of the battle, and basically right here is the opening engagement that sparked the entire battle. But yeah, you can do certain parts of the battle, like basically the Confederates attacking the mountaintops. That's pretty cool because you actually have like 40,000 men going at it, and that's pretty impressive. Um, and naturally, they even have bigger ones. Like I think Pickett's charge is like probably about 40,000 men going at it again. Yeah, oddly enough, I'm recording this on July 3rd, 2018. So today is the 155th anniversary of Pickett's Charge. Yeah, I'll definitely show you guys that one. But yeah, I mean, I like this game. It's not perfect. I have a lot of qualms with it. Like, well, for one thing, see how big these units are. These are actually brigades. So this is like, 2,000 men, roughly. I kind of prefer getting a little more into it, like smaller units. Like I usually prefer doing like regimental or even battalions. Basically, I just like, micromanaging stuff. Like in Sid Meier's Gettysburg, you're actually controlling regiments, which I think gives you much more of a tactical edge against an AI. And hell, what was that game? Napoleon's Last Battle, Waterloo. You actually get to command smaller units, like I think there are battalions in that game. And I just like having that added level of control. But yeah, I mean, in this one you really just get brigades and skirmishers and sharpshooters and stuff, which is okay. But sometimes I feel like I'm just, throwing my men at the Union, or if I'm playing as the Union, I'm throwing my Union soldiers against Confederates. Yeah, I just feel like I'm just throwing my men blindly at the enemy, and that just kind of takes away some of the tactical elements of strategy games. But I mean, it's more simplistic that way, I guess, for people who don't like to severely micromanaged battles. It's just I don't like losing men, basically. And I'm always thinking about the next battle. And that actually is a element in this game. Because all the men you lose here, you know, you don't get these guys back. So there's actually going to be a battle after this one, I guess, when I'm having to take Seminary Ridge and stuff. And, you know, every man I lose here, he's gone forever. So you really want to manage your casualties. So that's accurate and pretty cool that it does that. But yeah, I mean, and there are other things I like about this game. Well, let me pick something. Let's see. Well, see, here's all the different scenarios you can play. Like, yeah, there's the opening of the battle, and then, you know, they have the historical thing, but they also have, depending on how you do, they have different versions of events, which is pretty cool. And if you want to, you can just play these, or you can actually just play the campaign itself and see how it turns out. Yeah, I mean, there's like 100 different scenarios to choose from, which is pretty cool. You can even fight on July 4th, which is pretty cool. Let's see, I think I'll show you, yeah, the attack on the round tops. It's pretty cool. Yeah, let's see. So, wow, actually, yeah, we're going to have a lot of men. I mean, the Yankees are going to have almost 40,000 men, and then the Confederates are going to have almost 30,000. So, yeah, pretty big. Here's some Georgia brigades, G.T. Anderson and Benning. I'm actually from Georgia, so go get them, boys. Texas Brigade, Law. I think Law was Alabama. But yeah, I mean, there are some things I really like. Like, I like how each brigadier commander has his own accurate portrait, like over here. That's pretty cool. And I just, like I said, the map, like here's the round tops. That's pretty freaking cool. Devil's Den. It's just, yeah, I really like their authenticity and stuff. And there's the wheat field. It's just, yeah, like I said, some of the things I don't like. I just don't like having to deal with brigades like this because I feel like I'm just throwing my men at the enemy. Like in Sid Meier's Gettysburg, you could actually, you know, because you have control over regiments, you can actually, like, let's say you're attacking a artillery battery, you can actually tell your regiment to get into skirmish formation, which is actually pretty useful, you know. But in this game, when you're attacking artillery, I mean, it's just, yeah, it's just going to be slaughter. But, yeah, I like the scale. The battles are really intense and shit. I find it pretty hard to actually be on the defensive, though. Because, like, when I play as the Union in this game, I actually have a pretty hard time doing that. Because just knowing where to place the artillery and stuff is very, very vital. And the AI that you're going up against has no problem doing that. Because, see, you got to kind of figure out the topography. Like, okay, I guess that's a ridge, so that's good. It would have been helpful if they had like a grid to show you the topography and the elevation and all that. Like in Sid Meier's Gettysburg and the Waterloo game, they actually gave you a grid to show you that, so you could actually place your artillery better and stuff. Yeah, and you know, there's a couple other things I don't like, but overall, I think this is a pretty good game. It can be pretty difficult. It took me a little while to kind of figure out how to do this and do it right. Like, I think basically the best thing you can do as the Confederates is just attack. Like, don't fuck around, just go get them. And if you press the Union hard enough, then they're gonna retreat. And if you can do that, you can bottle them up, knock them out as they come up. Because remember, the Union are sending one corps up at a time. Yeah, like, here's the best job I ever did as the Confederates. I mean, I just totally see what happens. If you press them, they kind of retreat, and then you can just have your way with them. Like, you can just press them all the way to the ends of the map. Like, here's the round tops I took and stuff. Oh shit, the sharpshooters are still around. Yeah, go get 'em, boys. But yeah, and just yeah, I mean, not very accurate, but you know, it's a video game. You have to remember. So yeah, that's kind of what I meant when I said I kind of figured it out. Just attack, they'll fall back, and then you know, just send your men in to wipe them out. I had a much harder time figuring out how to play as the Union. Oddly enough, you would think playing as the Yankees would be a lot easier. You have better artillery, you have a shitload more soldiers, you have the high ground, as they said constantly in the movie Gettysburg. Um, yeah, you would think it would just be easier, but actually it's kind of difficult. I don't know why. I'll show you me playing as the Union after this a little bit. I just want to show you how badass I am at defeating the Union Army. Ah, Vincent, that's where the 20th Maine and Chamberlain were. Yeah, that's another thing I don't like about brigades is you don't get to command famous regiments. Yeah. Alright, so yeah, this was the best I ever did. I lost 9,000 men, but I caused 30,000 casualties. Yeah, basically I won the Civil War, supposedly. I don't know if... I actually don't know if the Confederates had won the Battle of Gettysburg, if that would have been the end. I don't know. But, yeah, I like this. They give you a order of battle and casualties and all that, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, I lost 13% of the Army of Northern Virginia. Still in pretty good shape, 62,000 men. Yeah, wow, he barely got touched. Jeb Stuart, man, the Union Army down to 61, so I actually outnumber the Army of Potomac, so that would have been interesting. But yeah, I don't know why. It's just tough playing as the Yankees for me. Like I can barely win as them. I don't know. It's just kind of tricky. Let's see. Actually, you know what? Seeing how today is the 155th anniversary of Pickett's Charge, let's play that. Offensive. Oh yeah, and you can boost the AI if you want the game to be even harder. Don't know why you would want to do that to yourself. Alright, what do we got? Holy shit, 52,000 Yankees versus about 50,000 Confederates. Okay. So we're gonna have 100,000 men duking it out. Holy shit. Okay, a lot to understand here. Alright, there's the Confederate artillery. In fact, I think it's about 2 o'clock right now. So yeah, this is actually, says 2:35 in the game. So yeah, actually it's almost exactly 155 years ago right now. That's pretty cool. Okay, let's get down into the minutia, shall we? Let's see what we got here. Yeah, actually, me and my friend Chili and my mom went to the 150th anniversary of the Battle of Gettysburg back in 2013. That was great because I guess we got to Gettysburg on July 2nd, but it was kind of late in the day, so we just walked around the town and stuff. But on the morning of the 3rd, we actually came down here and got our picture taken and stuff, and that was really cool. But the National Park Service was doing not really a reenactment, but basically whoever showed up could either hang out here at the stone wall and stuff, or they could actually go over here. And at 3:30, which is when Pickett's Charge actually set off, you could actually walk the entire length of the field and come over here. So there were like tens of thousands of people, from where the Confederates were, and me and Chile were among them. And at 3:30, we all set off, and that was really cool. The only problem was there were a lot of old people doing it, like a lot of 70-plus-year-old people, and it was a little shaky when we got to the fence at the Emmitsburg Road. Yeah, we were kind of scared that somebody was going to die. But yeah, we made it to the stone wall, and that was pretty cool. Yeah, kind of wish I'd given my mom the camera because she was kind of lazy that day, so she actually stayed where the Yankees were. But Yeah, I wish I had given her the camera so she could have taken pictures of, all these thousands of people walking towards the stone wall. That would have been pretty cool. But I tell you what, man, that was one of the coolest things I've ever done was doing that. And that was actually the first time I'd actually ever walked the path of Pickett's charge, and man, that was awesome. Kind of wish I was in Gettysburg right now. That would be pretty fun. I've been to Gettysburg, I think 4 or 5 times, and it's always amazing going there. Hey, here we go. Open up. Pretty crazy. Yeah, I think this was the loudest man-made event in North American history until the Los Alamos Trinity test. Yeah, I think they could actually hear the artillery in Washington, D.C., which was like 100 plus miles away. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy. Basically, you had about 300 artillery pieces going at it. Yeah, pretty crazy. So yeah, you would think playing as a Union, you would just, sit here, sit on your ass, and let the guys do their job. Cushing, he actually got the Medal of Honor a couple of years ago. Pretty crazy what he did. Let's see. Here comes Pickett's men. Yep, Armistead, Garnett, and Kemper. Okay, looks like the AI is gonna try and fuck me right in the middle here. God, look how close we're getting. Yeah, it would have been a little crazy for the Confederates. I mean, that's like what? I don't know, 300, 400, 500 yards away. Yeah, good luck with that. Getting that close. Let's see. But yeah, I mean, this is a pretty fun game. It's just, I think it could have been a little better, but for what it is, I like it a lot. They actually came out with a sequel that you can actually fight the entire Civil War, and it looks pretty good, but the way they did it just didn't sound too appealing to me, because basically no matter what you do, every single battle is gonna basically be the way it was in the game, or not in the game but in real life. So like, let's say you fight the Battle of Chancellorsville and you just completely annihilate the Army of the Potomac. Well, in the game, you're going to fight the Battle of Gettysburg like a month later, and the Union Army is going to be 90,000 men still. It's like, bullshit. So that's kind of why I'm not going to buy that game, just because, yeah, I don't want to deal with that horse shit. I mean, I want to win the Civil War, so, yeah. Let me win the fucking Civil War here. Oh, and even crazier, if you annihilate the Army of Northern Virginia, well, the next battle they're still gonna be the same. So that's just crazy. But yeah, see, you would think you would just need to sit on your ass and, kick some ass, but it's actually pretty hard for me. I don't know why. Because I mean, the Confederates, man, they're pretty tough. Pretty tough. Yeah, artillery in this game is pretty fucking devastating. Yeah, you can fire canister and just all that jazz. You're gonna shoot a what, Cushing? Thank you. God. Yeah, artillery can be a little annoying in this game. Attacking and controlling. You can tell guys to charge, like that's what Wolford's doing. See if I can actually click on this. South Carolina. So yeah, it's it's just kind of tough being on defense, but whatever. I'll figure it out one of these years. I've only been playing this game for 2 fucking years. You'd think I'd be able to figure it out. Well, I figured out how to play as a Confederacy, of course. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not gonna get the sequel, but I'll still play this every now and then if I'm bored. This game actually had a little controversy around the time it came out, because when it came out, that's when that, what was that guy's name, that asshole Dylan Roof, shot up that black church in South Carolina, so that's kind of when all this anti-Confederate stuff started happening, like people want to tear down the statues and everything. And in fact, Steam actually banned this game because the Confederate units had Confederate flags. Like, I'm not shitting you. That was like the dumbest fucking thing I'd ever seen in my life. I'm like, okay, what kind of flag do you want them to have? It's just like, what the hell are you guys doing? Well, it's like with all these World War II video games, you're not allowed to have swastikas anymore. Big Daddy and I actually did an episode talking about that, and I think that's just retarded. Because, hello, the Nazis are evil. They're pieces of shit, so why not have their symbol? I mean, I guess you don't want to upset people, but I'm like, you should be upset. The Nazis were cocksuckers. I mean, shit. Whenever I see a swastika, like if you play the original Medal of Honor games, there's swastikas everywhere. And, I mean, I just have a natural instinct whenever I see a swastika, my entire body just like tenses up and I get really like, you know, I hate swastikas, I hate Nazis, but I'm supposed to. Yeah, I mean, and I understand, you know, if you're a black person and, you know, you hate the history of the Confederacy and stuff and it pisses you off whenever you see a Confederate battle flag, I mean, I understand that. And why shouldn't you feel that way? Yeah. But then again, I don't think you should be coddled. I don't think we should censor ourselves and just hide the things that make us uncomfortable, you know? I mean, some of the statues I understand getting rid of, like in New Orleans, specifically like Lee's Circle, you know, I understand the arguments against that one because what the hell did Lee ever do in New Orleans? Personally, though, I would have liked to have seen Lee's Circle. Well, basically, Lee's Circle is like a roundabout with a statue of General Lee on a really tall, I think it's like a column or pedestal or whatever. My last name is Lee, so it would have been kind of cool for me going there and, you know, getting my picture and stuff. But I kind of understand them getting rid of that one just because, you know. And it was probably one of those statues that was built just to piss off black people back in the 1950s and stuff, you know, the civil rights movement and stuff. But I mean, on the flip side, that's what happens when people feel threatened. You know, they're gonna lash out or get defensive and stuff. But still, I understand getting rid of that one. The one I do not understand them getting rid of is the statue of PGT Beauregard. Because, I mean, Beauregard was like the epitome of New Orleans during this time. I mean, he was a Creole, which means he actually has black ancestors. Recently, black ancestors. And, yeah, I mean, he was a, you know, I think he was an okay guy. Like, after the Civil War, he actually, I think, did a lot to improve race relations in the city and stuff. So, I don't know why they would get rid of that one. I mean, he's like the epitome of Louisiana and New Orleans at that time. So, yeah, I mean, it goes too far a lot of the time. Well, like, I think it was, oh God, what university was that? University of North Carolina? Tar Heels or whatever. Those asshole students who like tore down a statue commemorating the Confederate dead during the war, and they were like spitting on it, stepping on it. They were actually kicking it when it was down, and they actually were breaking their toes and shit. So, kind of shows you how intelligent they are. But I'm just like, what are you fucking people doing? Like, show some respect. Yeah, they fought for a terrible cause. I mean, I think it was Grant who said. And I completely agree with this. I mean, I'm a proud Southerner, but you have to admit this. I think Grant said about the Southerners, they fought, oh shit, what was it? He'd never seen people fight harder for a worse cause, and I absolutely agree with that. I mean, there's the whole states' rights thing and all that, but I mean, you guys were, the main reason they were fighting for was, at least in the macro grand scale, was, you know, to preserve their economy, which survived on slavery. So, yeah. Now, there are, you know, guys who are fighting for their home state, their brothers, their family, you know, all that, and I completely get that, and that's probably what I would have fought for if I was a Confederate soldier back then, but, you know, you gotta look at the overarching main reason, and that was slavery. So it's a very un-American, very evil thing to fight for, but doesn't mean the Confederacy were, the guys who fought in the Confederacy were evil. Like the people who compare the Confederacy to Nazi Germany, I'm just like, are you retarded? Like, what the fuck are you even, like, like, what are you even talking about? Like, people compare General Lee to Adolf Hitler. I'm like, ugh. I mean, what the hell can you even say to people who do that, you know? Well, things are getting kind of hard for the Civil War buffs right now, I think. Basically, I'm not going to worry about it. You know, ever since I was 6 years old and I saw the movie Gettysburg, I've been a history/Civil War buff. So, you know, none of this PC shit's going to change my opinion on things. And when I have kids one day, I'm absolutely going to teach them about the Civil War. And, you know, so I'm just going to worry about, you know, what I have control over and, you know, what I can do. So, you know, I'm going to continue to be a Civil War buff, and I'm going to, you know, teach my kids all there is to know about the Civil War. Because, I mean, this is such an amazing war. I mean, there's just so many issues at heart here. You know, states' rights, self-government, freedom, bigotry, love of country, patriotism, honor, bravery, sadness. I mean, this was by far and away the bloodiest war in American history. I mean, look how many men are just dying right here. I mean, thousands. I mean, this is just crazy. So, yeah, I mean, it's just kind of a crazy time we're living in right now. But, yeah, I mean, ever since I was a kid, I've gone to Civil War reenactments, and the battlefields are always amazing to go to. And I just hope that all this Confederate, anti-Civil War stuff doesn't rob people of history and stuff. Like, one thing that really pissed me off was when I heard that the gift shop, man, that's a big ass artillery battalion or whatever the fuck, battery. Like, holy shit. One of the things that really pissed me off was when I heard, after the Dylan Roof shit, gotta hope that motherfucker's getting raped every day. After that, I heard the gift shop at the Gettysburg National Park Museum actually stopped selling Confederate flag, you know, little flag things. And I was like, what are you doing? Then who the hell were the United States, who was the United States fighting against then? You're gonna take away the Confederate flag? Okay, then who's the bad guy here, in your opinion? Yeah. So it's just stupid. And again, that really bugs me with modern World War II games. Like, I guarantee it, when Battlefield 5 comes out, the symbol of the Nazis, or Germany or whatever, is going to be the Iron Cross. And I'm like, yeah, okay, let's make the Nazis cool by not showing the hateful swastika, you know? That's going to bug the shit out of me. But, you know, whatever. I don't have any control over that, so I'm just going to worry about what I do have control over. Myself. I mean, and that really bugs me too, that they're not showing the swastika, because I'm like, well, then you're kind of watering down the evil that was Nazi Germany. I mean, if you're not going to show the swastika, then okay, and that's not really cool. And they would actually, you know, because when I play World War II games like World of Tanks and stuff, I'm actually playing as the Germans most of the time because they have the coolest shit, you know, the coolest, best stuff. But I have to say, if I saw them using the swastika, I would have to think twice. honestly. So, you know, that's another thing too, kind of watering it down. But yeah, I mean, it's just it is what it is. I think they should bring the swastika back, but whatever. You know, just show the history for what it is, people. Like, come on. But anyway, let's talk about what I'm actually doing right now. Getting my ass kicked. Yeah, I think this is actually almost over. Oh wow, yeah, they took the angle, all right. Holy shit! Oh, they went my center. See, I mean, you would think you would just have to sit on your ass and kick ass, but I don't know. Yeah, being on defense in this game is not fun. But oh well. At least I can win as the Confederacy. I'll say that much. But yeah, I mean, this is not a perfect game, and it's definitely not one of the best strategy games out there. Huh, there goes Cushing. So much for that Medal of Honor, you asshole. But it's a pretty good game. I think you would enjoy it. I would like for there to be a better Civil War game one day, like one that's a little more tactical based and maybe a little more strategy based too, but also, I don't know. I don't know, I've played too many strategy games. Well, you ought to know a good one from a bad one by now. Well, this is definitely a good one, but it's not a perfect one, so. But, yeah, I would like there to be a better one day, but I would actually, if I ever met Sid Meier's or Sid Meier's, whatever the fuck his name is, if I ever met him, I would actually get on my hands and knees and beg him to make a remake of his Gettysburg game. Because they never properly patched the game, like you couldn't ever play it on XP even, because they never did a proper patch for it, so I haven't been able to play that game since Windows 98. Yeah, which is pretty ridiculous. So I would love for him to either, you know, get his shit together and patch the game, or do a remake. I mean, that would be awesome. But, oh well, we'll see. But yeah, so far, in my opinion, Sid Meier's Gettysburg is still by far and away the best Civil War strategy game out there. So, yeah, if you can, get your hands on a very old, very old computer, I would recommend you check that out. There's actually been a lot of good Civil War games the last couple of years, like the History Channel did a couple of first-person shooters, and those were actually, you know, for what they were pretty playable. Of course, my favorite Civil War first-person shooter of all time is Darkest of Days. I mean, come on. That game was fucking awesome! In fact, I remember when Chili and I were standing right about here, I think. Or was it over here? Yeah, I guess when we were over here about 5 years ago, I remember like this 15-year-old girl was talking about how awesome Darkest of Days was. I guess she was talking to her friend or whatever, and I was like, Chili, she's playing Darkest of Days. And he was like, cool! You know, we are always surprised when we meet chicks that are into history. I have to say though, women are really getting into the Civil War, like at reenactments and stuff. You see a lot of women getting into it. I guess it kind of falls under the cosplay thing because they love wearing period dresses and stuff. So yeah, women are definitely getting into this. That's cool. I mean, hey. What's that term? Bigger tent or whatever? Yeah, expand your tent or whatever the fuck that is. But yeah, I mean, this game's pretty cool. I think I'm gonna end this now. This is actually my first video doing gameplay. I actually finally got off my ass and learned how to screen capture, so yeah, hopefully this went well. I have no idea until I actually start to edit it, but you know, if this goes well and if it works and if you guys like it, I'll definitely do more of these. Definitely, it definitely opens up more options and stuff I can do for my channel, so that's pretty cool. And hell, like if I feel if I'm bored, I can just hop on Rome Total War or something and just do like a little episode or whatever. So yeah, that's pretty cool. But yep. I would say the Union lost the Battle of Gettysburg because of me. Good job, Wolf. Alright, yeah, take it easy, people, and I don't think I was supposed to show you this part, but Don't worry, I'll figure out how to do this the right way. Yeah, let me hop back on here, do it the right way, finish off the right way. But yeah, I'll definitely figure out how to do this, and I'll do more video games, video things. I'll do more. I'll do more screen captures and video gameplay and stuff. So yeah, take it easy, people. And if you have not checked out Ultimate General Gettysburg, definitely check it out.